Hi, friends. This is Steve at New Compass Crypto. Thank you for joining us as we talk about the continuing fallout of FTX and what it means for the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and what crypto may look like over the next several months. One of the things that has been fascinating over the last week or so has not been all the sordid details of Sam Bankman-Fried's massive mismanagement, which at this point appears to be even larger and more egregious than what happened at Enron. It's really what has happened to the price of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was trading at around 20, 21,000. It went down to 15,600, and then it rose again to 17,000 over the past 4 or 5 days. And it has pretty much stayed there. Today, the NASDAQ is pulling back a little bit. Yesterday, the NASDAQ pulled back a little bit. And Bitcoin has remained right around 16,500, 16,600. And given all the terrible press, the headlines in the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, every politician in the world calling for regulation and consumer protection, why hasn't the price of Bitcoin gone to 13,500, as JP Morgan predicted that it would do? And why hasn't it gone down to 10,000 or lower, which many pundits it would do? And so we're here today to kind of answer that question and explore it. So I want to show you something. This is the total supply of Bitcoin that is available. So Bitcoin has a maximum supply of 21 million that can ever be created. Right now, only about 19 million have been generated so far. There's 2 more million that haven't been created yet. Of the 19 million, 2 million have been lost permanently. So that only leaves a maximum of 17 million. They were lost because the keys were lost. And if you lose keys to your Bitcoin wallet, your Bitcoin is all but gone. So over the last 14 years, 2 million have been lost. Another several million are held by institutions. And then they are also held by people that are called hodlers, HODL. It stands for hold on for dear life. These are people that have held Bitcoin for 13 years, 14 years, and they are not selling at any price. This chart shows the percent supply of the active amount of Bitcoins that are out in the open market, and it is now at an all-time low. It is under 6 million. That means that out of the 17 Bitcoins that are possible to be traded on the open market every day, 11 million of those are being held by hold on for dear life people, institutions, people that have taken Bitcoin off of what's called on-chain or off exchanges, either way, and are moving them off-chain to cold wallets to their own private storage systems. Therefore, this means that there are a limited number of sellers in the current market. So an analogy that we could make is like this, and this is a very gross analogy, and I'm going to make this analogy despite the fact that I hate Donald Trump with a passion. But there are a certain number of the Republican base in the United States of America that are going to vote for Donald Trump no matter what, regardless of scandal, regardless of what the polls show, regardless of whether he cost them in this last midterm election. There's a certain number of people that don't even consider themselves Republicans anymore. They consider themselves Donald Trumpers. The best numbers is that is somewhere around 30% of the electorate, that they are simply going to vote for Donald Trump no matter what. That is the same when it comes to Bitcoin. When it comes to Bitcoin, there is a certain number of people across the world that are hodlers, that are not going to sell under any circumstance. Sam Bankman-Fried can do all the fraud that he wants. Future frauds can happen, whatever that may be. But they are separating the actions of a human who was a complete crook from the technology of what Bitcoin could happen in the future. And therefore, they're actually accumulating during these times. What this may mean for us is that if there are a limited number of sellers on the open market, that limited number, if it's under 6 million of even all the people that it's possible to sell Bitcoin, that Bitcoin may not reach lows of under 10,000, and it may not even reach lows of under 13,500. For us, that may mean that realistically, Bitcoin may reach, high 15s. It went down to 15,600, 15,700, stayed there for, less than 24 hours, and then immediately started climbing back up. So as we assess what we are trying to do, which is to separate all the fallout from the actions of a bad player versus what the technology of Bitcoin is, it may be that there's a limited amount of downside pressure on Bitcoin. The other thing that is happening is that over the last several years, over the last 5 years, as Bitcoin went from being several $100s to being several $1,000s to being 10,000 to being 20,000 and eventually 70,000, a lot of people that were not looking at the technology of Bitcoin, but they were saying, hey, this was once 1 penny and now it's many thousands of dollars. I want to make those kinds of returns. They invested in what are called altcoins. Altcoins is any coin that is anything other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the, gold and silver. Everything else is called an altcoin. So a lot of money was flowed into projects like Solana, Avalanche, Litecoin, like every other coin that you can think of, meme coins, everything out there in the world. Not because people believed into technology per se, but because it was 0.0001 cent. And even if it went to 1 cent, they could make, 100 times, 1,000 times their investment. And if they invested $100, they could make, $10,000. There is rumors, and we're investigating this, and I'll report on this next week, whether people are leaving altcoins and now they're fleeing to what is perceived of as the relative safety and stability of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Over the past several weeks, Bitcoin and Ethereum have seen 15% drops, but that's nothing compared to what has happened with all the other altcoins. So it may be that people who still believe in crypto in general, but want to sell their riskier coins, are saying, hey, I'm not going to take this money and I'm going to put it in my bank account, but I'm going to take this money, I'm going to sell even at a loss, and then I'm going to transfer my money over to Bitcoin and get in at these prices right now. So if that happens on a large scale, you can also see that combined with the number of hodlers, which are at an all-time high, and the available Bitcoin supply, which is relatively low, 6 million, that would prop up the price of Bitcoin. Now, we don't know how long this is going to last, and we're going to do our best to find out for you, because right now there is a lot of rumors. It is hard to get hard data. But so what we're going to do here at New Compass Crypto is I've been posting twice a week. I'm now going to be posting once a week. We're going to be posting everything on Wednesdays around 1 o'clock. And we're going to take time to digest a week's worth of data and give it to you. For now, we are looking, to get back into the market around, I would love to get back in at 13.5, but we may have to get in somewhere around 15.9, 15.8. We'll have to see. But if we'll have to analyze if Bitcoin is going to or not going to drop further. We're at least going to wait until tomorrow, which is Friday, and we're going to wait to publish when FTX publishes a list of its top 100 creditors. And I want to see what happens with Gemini exchange and crypto.com. But I would say that we're going to be getting in anywhere between 48 hours from now and then, or a week and 2 weeks from now. We'll make a decision about when to get in. We'll inform you, and we'll keep you posted. Thank you for joining us. Take good care, and stay safe out there. Good luck.